Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we're going to bring you up to date with all the latest news. You're going to have some fun in the Your Calls section of the program, because we put together a montage of some of the things that have happened in Winning Ways over the last year. So that should be quite fun for you. But at this time of the year, it's always difficult to find presenters. They're all on holiday. Lafferty's sitting there watching Tottenham Hotspur get smashed. Graham Hawkins is down the south coast playing golf. Dees Dynan, well, he's just cruising in Maritzburg, picking up all the cash he won yesterday. Andrew Harrison, he's probably gone for a haircut, hopefully. So we ended up scraping the bottom of the barrel. And we ended up finding someone, I don't think he's ever presented a horse racing show before, but certainly knows enough about racing to be able to chat to us. Nice having you with us, Mike.
James, thanks very much. Others are obviously too rich, they don't need to work at this time of the year. Some of us have got to get out there and grind away.
Well, look, don't get too clever with the pay package, okay? Because, you know, the pay in this business is not very good.
A couple of cigars for you, I think.
But the point is that, you know, this could be a sort of future for you.
I don't think so, James. This is a one-off, definitely.
Well,
left get back quickly.
I could see, you know, Matthews taking over the string, and, you know, Diane looks like she's running Joburg. You've got a couple of guys all over the place. I hear the English operation. You've got the new guy in the master bedroom taking over.
Yeah, we've got the Earl of Abington there. He's taking care of things. So, you know, all rooms facing the sea at this stage, as you say.
For you. Mike, nice having you with us. Let's go and have a look at our three to follow. Right, well, let's kick off with our first one of our three to follow. Saturday, Turfentine, 28th of December. And Alec Laird's got some very nice young horses in his yard. And this looks like one of the nicer ones. Really nice, big, strong colt this is. And Colin Tabana rode him first time. He didn't run badly at all to run second. And I think that this was the improvement that you expected. This might be a nice horse when he goes a bit more ground. Solar Triptych. He won the second race over 1200 or 1160 at Turfentine. Let's go pick him up at the start. There he is, drawn two, Mike. Falls out the pens, not that well away.
Yeah, and it's but it's a typical Alec Laird horse with making the big improvement from the first run, you know. If they got any sort of ability, they definitely do come on with the way he trains them.
Well, there he is in the red cap. He's about 5 or 6 off them at this stage, one off the inside. And you know, he's going well enough, but there are horses in front that are going pretty well and cruising along. But when this kid asked him, he just quickens up nicely.
It's quite a mature ride as well from a youngster, James. He didn't panic, he got a bit back. There was a lot of speed in the race, and he probably knows what he's sitting on. But he just bided his time and not got there too early. So, you know, good to see him getting a chance. In fact, rode a very mature race.
Well, here he asked him to quicken up. Give them a smack or two, but he quickened up in the manner of a nice-looking horse.
Definitely.
Okay, well, he's
good
certainly,
time as well.
Yeah, he's certainly the type of horse that I think that we can have a look at over more ground. I think he's going to go further than the 1200 meters.
Yes, James, I think you're right. Sorry, missed my cue there.
Okay, no problem. Well, the point is that we'll move on to the next one, and we'll get better at this. And that is Kenilworth, same day. Now, this was the first leg of a pick six. There have been lots of carryovers in the pick sixes. And this looked like a winner all over, bar the winning post. And I thought that the second horse, the horse that won it, was particularly well ridden, and I think Jockeyship really won the race. Let's go and have a look at race 4 over 1600 meters. Ma Choi running second for Yogus Govender and Alda de Meyer. There it is, drawn 4 in the famous platinum colours. Didn't come away
Not the
too
best
well.
away, yeah. I think this is a filly actually will win more than one race.
Yeah.
She looks like quite a nice filly. I mean, 400 to go, in running betting, how much did you want to have on her?
Yeah, there's no...
Just the last little bit she gets grabbed, but what like you say, a strong ride, and probably quite a well-bred filly, you know, that must have a bit of potential.
African Blue. I think that this filly is by Choisir. She's Australian bred. She's only had a couple of runs, and both of them have improved, 5 lengths to 3 lengths. She's out of a Monjour mare. And they definitely will go ground. The horse that won it actually is beautifully bred by Horse Chestnut out of Circle of Life.
That's right, yeah. So yeah, the Choisir, they don't tend to get ground. I mean, they can, there's no doubt. But the Monjour must be giving her the stamina, this filly. I mean, you know, really a fantastic pedigree to be.
Well, here they turn into the straight, and African Blue in the green and white is slightly ahead of Marchois, and she now gets a shake-up, Marchois, and goes way clear. She looks like she just runs away from...
She does it hard-held, though. I mean, she gets there very easily. And I think Bernard's also actually lost a bit of ground to her.
No doubt.
And then he has to switch out.
Here, no race, Marchois.
Well, in running, how much do you want to have on? At this stage of the game, I mean, it's looked like it's going to be how far, but yeah, Bernie's unwinding on the outside here after losing ground. So it's actually quite a good win from this filly, because this filly's not stopping here in second.
Otherwise,
I think probably both of these fillies are worth watching.
Exceptionally good win from the winner, and the second horse certainly next time looks like you can empty out. For those of you that want to have a bet on a horse, that looks like one that you can really have a bet. Now the next one, we go to Scottsville, and as I often say, or very seldom say, don't often pick out one of mine, first timer. They're always a bit backward, and this horse is no exception. He's a 4-year-old who's had all types of little niggles. Never looked like he'd be suited to this race, but he ran a very good race. We go to the race 3, 1,200 meters, Bolau. He's by that famous horse, Gray's Inn, who you know a bit about.
Yeah, and over the trip, I mean, it's a very good debut. And interesting race you picked out, James. A lot of action, as they say.
Yeah, well, let's go and have a look at this race. The money was all for Fully Charged. Mike had the favourite here, Jet Avenger, who blew in the betting and got squeezed on the inside, which will detract from any chance he had. But our horse is drawn at 12. He's in the blue and white colours, and he gets away well. He's there with them and seems to be okay, no problem at all. And then suddenly he just loses it completely, doesn't know what's going on. Here he's not in a bad position.
But it's typical of those horses that want a bit of ground, James. So they tend to have that speed, they lose it in the middle of the part of the race and then sort of stay on again.
Yeah, well, he now loses it, and I said to the jockey, make sure he's a 4-year-old colt, make sure that you keep him at his job, because he's got to know what it's all about. So he gives him 2 there around the backside, and he's still going nowhere. Now this horse must be 7 or 8 lengths off them. The winner is
almost
in front.
detached from the rest of the field.
Yeah, the winner's in front, and your horse is on the rail in second, coming under pressure now.
Yeah.
But not much room he doesn't have here. Ours is now on the right-hand side, one off the right, and must be 10 lengths behind them.
Yeah.
Comes under the right.
Coming under a hard road, but he doesn't stop. That's the key thing. I mean, I'm sure when you get him round the turn, nice, a bit of ground, he's going to be flying over this horse.
Well, here he pegged a bit, missed a beat, and here ran on really
He's
nicely.
getting going.
Yeah. I think he's got some ability, this horse, as I've said to you before. I think he can run a bit, and certainly he looks like a horse. Maybe one more down the straight just to get his mind on what it's all about, and then go around the turn. He should be a bet. So he could be a horse worth following down the line. I think he's got some ability.
Definitely. Maybe you can get a jockey that can salute like he's won the July as well when he wins a maiden plate on him.
We've seen a couple of those. I saw one salute the other day that didn't win. Thank you very much for that. Can we now move on? And we're going to go and have a look at Blast from the Past. And the Blast from the Past was one of Mike's favourite daughters, Mother Russia, winning the Queen's Plate 2011.
Race 1600 meters. Gates crash open and they're sent on their way, and Pocket Power landed running. He's one of the first to show. Captain Secret's now moving past him on the far side, and Mother Russia's now going up to get a handy position as well. Ebony Flyer is on the move from a bad draw around them all, and she's also going up handy, but Blue Tiger now wins that battle for the lead as they settle down and go towards the 1200. Blue Tiger stretching him out. He's going a good gallop. He has it now by 3. Captain Secret now gone up to race in second. They being followed by Celtic Fire, who's now run around horses to go up and race in third. They followed then by Ebony Flyer. Mother Russia races next. They're really strung out. She's racing 12 lengths off them. Tales of Bravery behind that. Pocket Power just in behind that. Past Master keeps him company up on their far side. Then it's Casey Cool. Time and Love races next. Superstorm is in behind that. Rushing Wind is well back with Tropical Empire racing towards the back of the field. And American Man, your trailer. They're at the top of the straight now and in line for home, and Blue Tiger, the pacemaker, is out in front and still clear by 2. Captain Secret, the first one to move in and challenge. They being followed by Ebony Flyer. Mother Russia is back towards their inside. Past Master starting to make ground. Pocket Power still 4 lengths off them. It's starting to unwind now too as they come down to the final 300. Meantime, Mother Russia has come forward to pick it up. Ebony Flyer is in behind that. Pocket Power is well beaten at this stage. Mother Russia, as they come to the final 150, is out in front. And Mother Russia, there's no stopping True Class. Mother Russia, too good, has galloped them off their feet. Mother Russia goes on to win from Tales of Bravery and Ebony Flyer. Pocket Power only 4th today, not disgraced. Behind them came Rushing Wind. Past Master was further back in.
Well, there's no shortage of support for her. She was very good, this filly.
Top class filly, James. You know, she was very, very tough filly. She raced quite a bit at 2, 3, on again at 5. She beat a very good field in a time of 96.46. You don't often see that in Cape Town. They tend to go very slow there. So, but I mean, a proper field. Past Master, you know, ran down the field, came out and then beat her in the Met.
Yeah. It was
So,
that.
hell of a filly.
She didn't seem to get her best ride in the Met.
Well, I think, you know, we were a little bit worried about her staying the 2000, and they went very slow, and I think Schechter went round them, got going early, and actually won a very clever race. You know, again, we were with the 2000 wasn't her best trip. I mean, she did get it, but this was a game, a mile.
Yeah. Right, we're going to have a look at a blast from the past and plum of the week, at least. We just have blast from the past. Plum of the week, and we've got quite an interesting plum of the week here. I'm really getting backward in time, but no problem. You know, I had a lot of Christmas and a lot of Christmas pudding, brandy, butter, and all that type of thing. But let's go and have a look at the plum of the week.
Further back to Cadillac Palace and Campanologist the outside. 300 to go. Miss Tiger Eyes, Madame Tigra Neoni. Campanologist Saruria. Anybody can win it. Miss Tiger Eyes, Campanologist Saruria on the outside with 100 meters to go. Saruria now takes it up from Campanologist. Saruria's holding in the mat bay though, and Saruria won it. Second will go to Campanologist. Cadillac Palace took off, then Miss Tiger Eyes.
Well, if you're an Interbet client, you could have got 5 to 1 about this filly. She was 9 to 2, freely available, and she looked like an absolute blinder. Her last start, Mike, she didn't have
She never
everything.
have lost.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I know we often say that as trainers, but if you watch the replays, yeah, this filly should have won. She got no run at all. She came from the back of the field. I thought when we sent her down here that she'd be almost start odds on.
Yeah.
But a very generous price, and she seems to be an improving sort, which is typical of those Northern Hemisphere fillies.
Well, it's nice to have fillies like this in this country because she'll probably end up staying here, won't she?
She'll stay here, definitely, and I mean, she'll go down to Drakenstein to breed eventually. So, you know, again, the broodmare band there just gets better and better by the day when you...
Oasis Dream or
She's by Galileo.
Galileo, yeah. She's really very, very nice. So you've got a couple of Oasis Dreams as well in the stable. It looks like that. They all look like they're 6 months behind. They get better, these fillies.
You know, James, I know I keep repeating it, but you just cannot fault it. You know, you just look at horses like Europa Point when she won a maiden and she was sort of I'm not saying battling, but it didn't look like she was going anywhere. But that 6 months makes a massive difference. You know, it's like taking a 12-year-old kid against a 16-year-old kid. It's a big, big difference.
Europa Point was an interesting filly because she was a gangly thing. She never looked like much of a horse, didn't she? And she won 7 on the trot or something.
Yeah, but she matured into quite a nice-looking filly. But I mean, eventually she went from, I think, rated like 67 or something like to winning a Group 1.
Yeah.
But it's just time. And you know, sometimes we as trainers and owners get impatient with these horses because you want them to perform. You've spent a lot of money. You brought them from abroad, but you cannot fight the physics. You cannot fight the
maturity.
body, the maturity.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something you have to realize when you bring them in from abroad, that they're going to take an extra 6 to 8 months even.
Have you seen a filly like this, Saruria, having that type of ability to be able to go on from here?
I'm not so sure that she's a Group 1 winner, but I like the fact that she's improving every time she starts. I mean, I'd like to believe we could possibly get a listed racing to or something.
Well, we'll keep an eye on her as well. I think we're going to go and have a break now, and we'll be back with current affairs. Well, in current affairs this week, we've got 2 South African races, and the first one was the Christmas Handicap, which is always a lovely out-of-season handicap race. It always produces a good finish, and this year was no exception. And it was a race won by some very nice people. Let's go and have a look at King of Torts winning the Christmas Handicap.
And away they go from the 1600 meter marker. As expected, Always L got a flyer, the early leader. Dylan's Promised the white blinkers right there, and Pyrotechnics now looks to slot into that second position behind Always L. Tipo Tinto's the red blinkers, Mercurial Brave just ahead of him, and then comes King of Torts as they start to really stretch out. Silver Age is 8-9 lengths off them. First Lad is further back in the running, a shadow roll, 9 lengths off the leader. King J's Top Mark, 4th Estate, Excuse My French. Behind these runners, Roman Wall and Gold Onyx is the trailer, 15 lengths off a true run race. And it's the stable companion, Always L, flashing his speed by a length and a tail. The filly, Dylan's Promises, right there in the box seat second. Pyrotechnics at her girth third. King of Torts, then comes Mercurial Brave. Tipo Tinto, First Lad. Silver Age has got 6 lengths to trace down. Top Mark towards the outside. Homeward Bound just on 500 to go. Always L the one to get to. King of Torts in the orange silks. Dylan's Promises there. Pyrotechnics looking to run on towards the inside. King J's Top Marks behind these. Gold Onyx still got 7 to make up. King of Torts in the meanwhile comes to the front at the 200 meter marker. And it's First Lad running on towards the inside. Excuse My French. Gold Onyx can't get away through, and 4th Estate's taking off. Silver Age is flying between them. Silver Age, King of Torts, 4th Estate, King of Torts pulled it off. King Jace might have got second. 4th Estate to the inside. First Lad behind these, and I'm afraid Gold Onyx had no luck. He was starting to catch the eye.
Well, a super win for the Schwegmans. They've been fantastic fans of this business for a very, very long time. But Kevin Shea
does the job. KB Shea still, the old dog's turning the tricks.
Yeah.
He's, you know, Kevin's strength is his temperament, and in his big races, he's got the BMT. Puts the horses in the right place, gets there at the right time. Very seldom makes mistakes in these. I think he gets fired up by these big races, the feature races.
It's interesting to see how many races he won for you in Dubai. He won a hell of a lot of races.
Yeah, he's plenty races. You know, I mean, obviously the one we all remember is the one where we thought we'd won it, the World Cup.
No.
But amazing, we had an amazing trotting world in Dubai, Kevin. A lot of big races, some really smart horses, Archie Penko, Eagle Mountain. We've been around the world together.
Yeah.
Breeders' Cups, Hong Kong, England.
Got beat on a couple, you shouldn't have.
Well,
Eagle
listen,
Mountain maybe in Arlington.
you know what, James? Yeah, listen, we should have won the Arlington race, but there was nothing to do with Kevin. I mean, Kevin had the horse in a perfect
Johnny
place.
Murder
but
did
it
it.
was Johnny Murder not giving 1 inch the pikey, not an inch.
All right, well, we got to follow up with Kevin Shea. We got Kevin Shea again winning on one of Mike's horses. We go to the Diadem in Cape Town. And this was an amazing win. We'll chat to Mike about it after we've had a look at Kevin Shea producing Will Witcher.
Diadem Stakes, all clear, sprinting from that 1200 meter mark. Capel Wright began well and he's drifting over to the inside rail. Villa de Largo electing to stay hot up against the outside. Behind that we got Tevez, Castlethorpe, Captain Secret. We've got two groups down the hill towards the 800. The inside group is being led by Capel Wright. Then it's Welwitschia, Divine Jet and Jackson. Stand side we got Villa de Largo, Captain Secret, Tevez. And behind that we got Castlethorpe as they enter the final 600. They spread across the track. Stand side, it's Villa de Largo and Tevez, Captain Secret, Castlethorpe. The inside group is being led by Capel Wright. Divine Jet on the rail creeps closer, Welwitschia, and Jackson is in striking distance, being angled to the middle as they enter the final 400. Villa de Largo, Tevez, Capel Wright down the inside. Divine Jet starts to bounce. Welwitchia's into the clear. Jackson up the middle is also starting to run on. Outside of runners we got Captain Secret. They fanned right across the track. Welwitschia gets driven into the lead. Divine Jet is on the chase towards the inside, but Welwitschia has kicked away. Welwitschia goes on to win it. Jackson comes out best in second. Then it was Capel Wright, Divine Jet.
Well, Welwitschia, I know you give a lot of credit to Matthew for taking her down to Cape Town. He ended up putting the whole thing together.
Yeah, James, you know, that's last year she was there. I don't know if you remember. I think we had her down for the Cape Flying. And they had these jumping castles and all the shenanigans that goes on the course. And there was an explosion and she flipped over on her back and was kicking and went. I mean, she'd almost injured myself and Diane very badly. But, you know, for her to come back from that has been a long road because it actually affected her. She went from being meek and mild filly to almost a lunatic on race day. And it's been a while now working with her to get her to quieten down that you can put the saddle on, because what happened, you know, we thought it was a one-off. We took her back home. The next start, as I tightened the girth, she flipped again. So it started to become an issue with this filly. And thankfully she's got over that, and Cape Town was a very big test.
Kevin Shea seemed to have a lot closer than she normally is. Was that a tactic?
You know, I was actually happy with her because I've always felt that she's been getting too far back, and she actually ended running this time, and he moved quickly to get him behind Capel Wright and get some cover, which was you know, a very good move, and he moved early on her as well, which I think was a good thing as well, having the stamina that she does have, because you must remember this filly's run second over a mile to Dance with the Devil. She's won her 7 furlongs. She does have stamina, but you know, her issues were actually settling in the race. She used to over-race and do too much.
Are you thinking of maybe going for one of the big fillies mile races?
James, you know, there is the Mallorca, which we'll enter and decide, but there's also the Scepter Stakes, which we're leaving her down there for. She'll stay with my mate there, Ramsbottom, and she'll be prepared for that, and then maybe the Mallorca as well. We'll see.
Interesting. I don't know if you watched the morning show, but there are a couple of people that didn't think that she had much chance, and they thought that you weren't doing a very good job with her.
I believe so. I see my mate Gary Lenton was at his best changing feet again, tipping all the wrong ones. So yeah, she's a filly that hasn't been easy to train, and it doesn't make it any easier when you've got armchair trainers as well.
Well, the interesting thing is that I remember once before when I'm not sure the horse that it was, that he said, no, it definitely you didn't know what you're doing. There's no way that was going to win. And your reply was quite interesting about the only advice you'd take from him is the nearest roadhouse.
Well, maybe you should stick to giving that advice. But you know, this game is hard enough, James, without having armchair trainers and barstool jockeys, honestly.
Well, let's face it, there never won't be them. They will always be around, because if you read any website, you'll see that they've all got a lot to say. And it's very interesting to see some of the comments that come out of people's mouths. We all make mistakes, but sure. When you've got a class filly like this, and she is class, and she's shown that she can run with the best of them, very hard to not tip her or say that she can't win because things have not gone right with her.
Well, listen, we didn't go down there to take a bucket and spade and go to the beach. I mean, we went down there thinking we actually had quite a good chance. I mean, Johan went through the field with Matthew when we did decks, because I was in Dubai, and he said, you've only got one horse to beat, Divine Jet. He thought Divine Jet would win, and we would possibly run second.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, spot on, and it was, I mean, that's the kind of advice I'd prefer to listen to.
We're going to ask you advice on Magic Millions. It's coming up to sale in a couple of weeks' time. They produce some good horses from there.
Yeah, South Africa's done very well, I think, from Magic Millions. We've had some pretty smart horses here. And the Magic Millions is one of those sales, or it used to be really, where you could go and buy a pretty good specimen for not a hell of a lot of money. They wouldn't always have the best pedigree, but they would produce forward, good-looking specimens. I think I had a horse called Rarotonga Treaty from many years ago.
It's just one of Colin Dunn's.
Yeah, and he finished up a Group 1 winner, and I think he was a champion 2-year-old or something.
Yeah, about $8,000 or something.
Wasn't a hell of a lot of money, but that was a tipper used by a Geiger counter, not fashionably bred. But you can get a really nice, generally a tough specimen as well, because they want them to race early. They have all those incentives, all the incentive races and whatever. So it is and I mean, it's hard to get value for money in the world today with sales.
Yeah.
It's insane what's going on.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I mean, of course, the exchange rate as well.
Well,
but this is the one sale you can.
Their best horse from last year's sale was a horse called Piero, who's by Lonro, 230,000 Oz, which was nowhere close to the top price. He's won 3 Group 1s as a 2-year-old.
He's a top horse. I think he's with Gay Waterhouse training, or she used to.
I'm not sure. I know that they have a woman's syndicate which she runs, which is pretty damn successful.
Yeah.
She's pretty good at that.
No, she's takes it to another level, marketing.
Black Caviar had a brother. You hear about his brother? He died last week. He had laminitis, this horse.
I think a lucky escape, I must be honest. I saw him as a yearling.
No.
Good looking on top, but he didn't have the wheels. No. And $5 million they paid for him. They escaped.
Well, the company that owned him, that bought him, BC3 Thoroughbreds, owned by an interesting chap called Bill Flahos, okay? And Bill Flahos didn't only open this BC3 Thoroughbreds, he also started a punting club. And actually the punting club went bankrupt and dragged down BC3 Thoroughbreds with him, and I don't think this horse has been paid for.
Oops.
Yeah, the English, I think
that could be a problem, Houston. You know, that's the problem with these punting clubs and all these things, James. You know, you see them come and go in this game. It's just not an exact science, and you know, when people start losing money, then they start running for the hills. And punting clubs and that type of things, very difficult to work, I think, anyway. I've seen them come and go.
You know, you've been around a long time. How many punters have you seen that have made money out of racing?
Well, I can't think, you know, one doesn't even spring to mind, James. I mean, even me as a trainer, it's hard to punt, honestly. It's really hard. You get, you know, a horse can run a great race, you've had a bet and you sour. Meantime, it's actually run a good race, you should be happy. But you've done your cash. And it starts to cloud your judgment eventually, you know.
There are too many variables, I think. The problem is that the biggest problem with racing horses, training and owning horses, is you get the factor of the race itself, you know, where you've got someone else in charge of the horse, and all types of things can go wrong that you just can't even imagine that can go wrong. And to win a race, it's not that easy.
No, it's not, James. And you know, I think punting-wise, the more you know, the less chance you've got of winning. I believe if you study cold, take the book, do not listen to a soul or to any tipsters or pundits. Just do your own homework, study, and be consistent. I think you've got a chance. But if you listen to all the geniuses on the course, and even us trainers putting you off when we should be giving you confidence, and vice versa, sticking you to horses that probably can't win. Because form, I really think form does work out most of the time. And I think if you're clever about it and you can analyze it and you're not emotional at all, there is a big potential to win.
No doubt. And I found that the big point with punting is to pick your marks.
Yeah.
Good draws, horses well weighted,
Absolutely.
everything in the right place, right jockeys, horses come, they're placed in the right place, everything seems to, then you got a chance. Like Saruria looked like a good bet.
Yes,
You know?
especially after watching the last start. That's the other key thing, I think, to punting, if you're a viewer of the previous runs, I think that's a massive help.
And
to
form
punters.
grids is
Well,
unbelievable.
they're very good with that. And if you could marry that with like they do in Hong Kong, they have a program leading into every race meeting where they go through replay after replay. I think that is unbelievable information. That's something punters could really benefit from.
Okay, let's just move on with a couple of things that have happened. The Belmont Stakes prize money is now 1.5 million, and they're paid to 8th place. You got anything there sitting in England that you might be going for the Belmont with?
Phew, I wish, James. Those are races that I really would dream about running in someday. But certainly, on dirt in America, it's a very specialised type of horse that you need for it. So one could only really dream on, I think.
That horse will take charge. He won 2 Group 1s. It's just been sold to, I think, Brazilian connections have bought a share in it.
Torre Alba.
Yeah, Torre Alba and
Lundy's Liability.
Yeah. And
big player today.
Claiborne Farms, Three Chimneys Farm, Clay. He's in charge there of Three Chimneys. They're going to retain a half share in the horse. He's going to stand there. But he's going to race for another year with Lucas. I think Lucas trains.
What sort of money did he change hands for?
They didn't say.
No. Would be massive.
Yeah, would be massive.
It's amazing the value of bloodstock today, James. Good horses, where they've got to.
Well, the other thing, and just interesting to me, because I was a polo player, was that a horse called Mission Approved has been sold to the Villamil family in Argentina. Do you ever come across the Villamil?
I haven't.
They made
you don't know the name of their stud in Argentina?
It's called Harras Rodeo Chico. I didn't know the farm either.
Still haven't heard of it.
The Villamil family sold polo sticks. They made polo sticks. It was the most incredible business I've ever seen. And it was making golf clubs for golfers. You want to buy the ordinary polo sticks, you go in the front of the shop, you pay $150 or whatever. If you were a top player, you went in the back of the shop and they had all these heads and the canes, specially marked in boxes for their big players.
For their clients.
And then they made them up, and they were all handmade, and they must have made it, well, they knew in the breeding industry. Anyway, they got this horse Mission Approved, has moved to Argentina, and who knows whether we might not see one of his sons or daughters here. But as far as the rest is concerned, anything else in the news that you've got that might be interesting?
Goody, no, not really. The first meeting in Dubai comes up on the 9th of January, so we're looking forward to that.
Well, we're hoping to be able to get you weekly on the show and be able to chat your runners if we can. That would be fantastic. We're going to move on, and we're going to have a look at Dubai. I think we've got a little bit of footage to show you from Dubai, and then if you want to go to Dubai for the World Cup or Super Saturday, you'll be able to go with Phil Giorgio after you watch this. His slide will come up.
Just about ready to run. Gates are back and they're racing in the Dubai Shima Classic. Starter caught them in a good line. Muralion goes back and immediately goes to the inside rail. West Wind, Sun Classic, Latensi came out quickly. Oracle West, Springhouse going forward. Then Gravitas, Yum Zane, Yellowstone, followed by Quajano on the inside of Susi Shan. 2 lengths Viva Bataka, a length and a half. To Dr. Dino on the outside of Better Talk Now. Don San third last on the turn out of the straight. Muralion second last, and the mare Gower Song at the tail of the field as they wend their way to the back of the track. 1,850 metres left to go. Springhouse the leader by a length and a half. West Wind is second. Oracle West 3/4 of a length away third, and 2 lengths to Sun Classic. A length and a quarter to Gravitas, 1 deep on the outside of Latensi. Then Yellowstone, followed by Yumzane on the rail. Another 2 lengths away came Quajano as they travelled towards the back. Susi Shan on the outside. A break of 2.5 lengths to Viva Bataka, followed by Better Talk Now on the inside of Dr. Dino. Then Muralion, Don San and Gower Song on the rail. It's a strung out field in the Shima Classic down the side. 1,300 metres left to run. And Springhouse showing the way by a length and a half. Over West Wind with Oracle West a half length away third. A break of 1.5 to Sun Classic. Gravitas on the move. Frankie beginning to fire him up. Yum Zane on the rail needing room. Yellowstone going through in the centre. Latensi's off the fence now 3 deep. followed by Susie Shan on the inside of Quajano, then Viva Pataka. Dr. Dino still a long way back. Muirline going forward on the rail, followed by Better Talk Now. Gower's Song is second last, and Don San had dropped out to the rear as Springhouse brings them onto the bend. 600 metres left to go in the Dubai Shima Classic. Springhouse in front of West Wind on the outside. Oracle West is 3 deep, trying to join those leaders. Sun Classic gets a run through in the middle. Yum Zane follows through. Gravitas deeper out, and here's Viva Pataka for Hong Kong, starting to storm down the centre. Sun Classic reached the lead, 250 metres to go from Yum Zane, the pride of Hong Kong. Viva Pataka, Dr. Dino on the outside. Sun Classic's in front, still more than a length. Viva Pataka's trying, the poster's looming up. It's Sun Classic, it's another one for South Africa. Sun Classic has won from Viva Pataka, Dr. Dino, Quajano, Susie Shan, Yumzan, then Muirline, Gower's Song, followed by Better Talk Now, Springhouse, Latensi, Gravitas, West Wind, Yellowstone, Oracle West, and Don San was always back near the tail of the field.
Sun Classic, what a night for South Africa. The filly who landed the Cape Verde Balanchine double at the Carnival. The Balanchine, one of the most amazing performances when she got murdered at the 200-metre pole, pulled out and flew. Today, a longer trip, confidently ridden. Kevin Shea went for home a long way out, 400 metres out. Viva Pataka, Yumzane, Dr. Dino all chased her shadow. She wasn't going to stop. And Sun Classic, who is bound for England in the summer, stamps herself as a mare of real, or filly of real quality.
And what an advertisement it is for these South African horses who for so long were in exile, and yet now through Dubai there's a shop window there. It's a very, very good example of what they can do. Here's Sun Classic here. She goes the line. She's won easily in the end. Viva Pataka's run on well. Dr. Dino's run on from a mile back for third. Quajano was fourth. The arc runner-up Yumzane is there in fifth. And then over on the inside it's Sushi Shan. A gap then to Muirline on the near side. Gower's Song, who was a long way back in the early stages, couldn't get into it at all. Then Better Talk Now. Then the early leader Springhouse. Behind them the top one Latensi, and further back then is Gravitas, a long way behind them. And Oracle West has finished a long way back as well. The rest are also Rans. But let's have another look here. And watching the race with you, Richard, you were saying he's gone too early.
Well, there was a doubt at the top of the straight because he's cantering. And, you know, she's got such a good turn of foot. I was worried he was setting it up for the likes of Viva Pataka. But as you said, she's won comfortably. Great scenes. Kevin Shea in the saddle. What a night for Mike de Kock.
Kevin, you said this is a dream.
Yeah, with all these good fillies, yeah, of course, yeah. Isn't it appropriate for a good filly like us to win? Amazing. We were very, very confident at the race, and the race just playing out well.
Fantastic evening for South Africa, and Lionel Cohen has just added to it. Amazing what Sun Classic has just done.
Yeah, I'm just so honoured and proud, and Thoroughbreds have always made a difference in my life and got me up in the morning, and yeah, she's just been special for a long time, and you know, I've just got to say how indebted I am to everybody who's played a role in her life, and who played a role in my career. There's so many people, and I think I'd just like to dedicate it to my family, all special to us.
Won't you come on, give me more? 'Cause all I do is moan, moan, moan through the day and through the night. Weep, 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 won't you come and hold me tight? Moan, moan, moan through the day and through Won't you come on, give me more?
I need to know from you, has it word got out why Lafferty's not here?
No, I haven't heard any rumors on course.
No, you've got to come clean, eh?
No,
you know, people want to know out there.
No, I haven't. I've chatted to a few guys, and the word is that he's gone to see his family in the UK.
It's always the excuse, but I think there's more to it than that. You know, last time he went for a little bit of help. Harley Street apparently was the place, yeah. This time I hear things are not going quite as well as they should be going. So he went back for a checkup and a couple of little bit of odds and ends being tied up. You know, just to tie things up for him.
I'll take it that he's going to see his family, but if you got the proof, James, you should dish it up.
Listen, you've got to get your ear closer to the ground.
Ross Payne. Now, I know Ross Payne. I'm going to read this. Dear James.
You know Ross Payne?
I know Ross Payne.
Okay.
I hope your tummy tuck went well and you're looking as svelte, handsome and useful as ever.
Firstly, I've got to just show you.
Yeah, just show them. It went
The
beautifully,
tummy tuck
James.
gone, you see. I'll not go pick up my shirt,
No,
but you know, Laff, just on the tummy tuck, okay?
Yes.
It's amazing. Your facelift didn't go so well because I see that you've now got a beard.
You know what I had,
what did
James?
they pull up all that hair up there?
Well, this is chest hair here now.
Yeah.
I didn't have a facelift. I had a body drop.
Was it?
They hold your head in place and drop your body, and it straightens everything out. But I'm very lucky. You wouldn't think I'm 73. But Ross, let's go on with Ross. The tummy tuck was a great success, you know. Gets in and out of his car comfortably now. He says, I'd really like to know, because I'd really like to have it done. My tractor tyre is now getting in the way of my lovemaking. Did you ever find that hampered you?
Always. That's why I
Always.
had the tummy tuck.
Thank you.
It's a huge problem. And listen, you think
I can
it's a
imagine.
problem amongst us middle-aged South Africans who eat boerewors and drink beer and that. Healthy boys like you who just eat vegetables, you never have a problem.
Never
but
have
you
a problem.
do have a face that looks
So
really...
I have to worry about the top one. You've got to worry about the bottom one. I've got to worry about the penthouse. You've got to worry about the rest of the building.
Well, they say you need a big hammer to drive a big nail.
I think, James, if he loses the tummy tuck, or if he loses the tractor tyre, he'll be rushing to bed.
Well, that's exactly right. So let's, I don't think we should tell him where he goes and gets this procedure done, because we'll lose one of our faithful fans.
Right, welcome to another edition of You Call. It's Your Call, not You Call. Your Call. And we're going to have to put my phone off. I can hear it barking at me. Did you watch any football yesterday?
I watched a little bit of it.
James,
I thought you were pretty lucky.
They got to scream for TVs. I'm a Liverpool supporter. They scored a legitimate goal in the 90th minute. The guy ruled them offside.
How was that
Torres
offside?
got sent off. He shouldn't have got a yellow for that. They said he dived. And it just bring these decisions in.
I actually tweeted on my tweet. I have a tweet, Twitter, whatever, Twitter or whatever it is. But I tweeted that if they spent as long fixing guys that have cramp in soccer on the rugby field, okay, we'd never finish a rugby game. Because I saw that some guy had his leg up for 5 minutes.
That's
fixing
severe
a cramp.
cramp.
Now, most of those soccer players, you were one of them. They walk most of the time. They run a little bit, then the ball comes.
I've misinformed you.
Watch a rugby player. Those guys run.
They run. Then they come to a line out and they sit there and discuss what they're doing afterwards. They have a scrum and they go down and smell like someone's crutch and shoot. Okay, we'll push when the ball comes in. We wait. No, they can front's fallen. Footballers have put those machines on them.
Yeah,
and
they walk for about 6,000 meters.
How far do you think? How far do you think a
meters.
footballer runs? A pro
7,000 meters.
You are 12 Ks. Beckham used to run 16. They've got this documented. Do you tell me Beast runs 12 Ks?
At least.
Not in a month.
At least.
Not in a month. Not in a month. Listen, we don't want to talk about the Sharks. Well done to Western Province supporters. You deserve to win. Yeah. You came there with your no-hopers.
We were absolutely pathetic. I think that Plumtree told the Sharks that they'd won the Curry Cup on Monday, and they all went to the beach. They showed no inspiration,
nothing.
No
Couldn't
drive,
score a
no
try.
firepower, and the only player that can play, in my opinion, and they should be given a year off, is Pat Lambie. He's different class.
Different
he
division.
kicked the ball into the right place. He had no chasers.
Nothing.
They were pathetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was,
so
it
well
was
done to the
Mountain Goats gave us a good hiding.
Well done to the Mountain Goats. They gave us a good hiding.
Yeah, great to be here. And, it's been a long trip up here and we had a good start to it. And it was so nice arriving here and seeing the Sharks get beat, firsthand. So it's been a good start to the season.
John Solani. Now, this comes up, there's quite a vein of this, and we've dealt with it because it's a little dated, but I must just repeat it. They said Justin Snaith came on and he commented about the Sharks and their supporters. You know, how Province would smash the Sharks and how sorry he felt for the supporters. Now, we've given Justin a real roasting on the show over it because we got it right. We would have been dead stum if he was right.
No, we wouldn't. We would have just taken it like men, like we do. The last year, we took it like men. We got a bloody good club, and we were aggravated as hell about it. But we took it the same way as they've taken it like men as well. They've taken it like what they are, pretty boys, you know.
The pretty boys
There's
took
a
it
couple
very,
of
very
whinging
well.
coming out of the, you know, the mountain goat territory. But what can you do?
That's right. So just for the
well done
for the Snaith twins, Sharks have got the Curry Cup.
Yeah,
don't forget
for
that.
a year.
For a year, you had it for a year. It's with us for a year.
And I can tell you, we got Jake White as well. You should let him go. You should have kept him there. Him and Lindy, you had a chance.
Yeah.
They lived down there. You should have kept him because I'm telling you, you're going to get clubbed again this year properly. Big Jake's coming to give you one.
All right, listen. Let's get on to one we got here from Roger Scott. You know, and again, he's got it in brackets here. Pretty boy Snaith. He's taking to your name, James. I think everyone's jealous of the Snaith boys. The good-looking boys.
We are jealous of them.
Good-looking
We'd
boys.
been as pretty when we were young like
No, we're
that.
handsome. They're
Jeez,
pretty. There's
yeah,
a big
can you
difference,
imagine?
James. You know, and he, when Captain of our soul, when he came with his great quote, and it's come to slap him in the face like apple pie. But the message from Roger Scott to Justin Snaith is: stick to tipping horses. He's better than his tips in rugby, but.
Only just better.
Only just better.
You guys pride yourself in trying to win not only big races but on big days. I know the Met Day is very big for you, and there's been a bit of banter between you and the fat man, you know, about who knows what's going on.
That's Mike or Joey?
No, Joey's the psycho.
Okay, yeah.
Mike's the fat man.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Just want to clear it up, eh?
Just needed to know. You boys are the pretty boys, okay? And Walter sits in his corner. We've all got names, you know.
But I'm very surprised you're having Paul Lafferty here, because I thought there was a saying that says, keep yourself in the best company and put your horses in the worst company.
Look, you've got to earn money with someone. Okay,
all right.
When I dine in the best company. And I race my horses in the worst company. I learned that expression. That I've got to make a few pounds to be able to dine with those people.
Got you.
But you'll come to know that that's the right way to do it, you know.
All
so
right.
you can hang around with guys like, you know, Joey and Mike and Walter, and you'll be okay.
Good four ball.
Yeah, it would be a good four ball. And aside from all of that, okay, we had Joey on the show there. Well, I've never seen anything like it. He slated everyone in South Africa, from Teletrack to his owners, to the Snaiths,
to himself.
Yeah.
I thought, James, when I watched it, I was very amused. He came over very well. He obviously can't get by without a dig. But he's a very amusing man. When he's on song, he's very captivating. And the Aussies enjoyed him because he.
Well, the thing was, you know, you're wondering if he's not sort of applying for a visa to go there. You know, he's trying. He was sucking up to them big time. And you know, we've had Joey on this show. He never sucked up to us like that. Maybe there's a little thing going on. You never know. You know,
he's a guy that I've always got on well with, and I enjoy his humour. You know, some people find him.
You've got to catch him on the right day. You won't get on with him on a bad day.
He's a very sharp tool when it comes to humour and that.
But
on the right day.
Let's not get away from it. On a bad day, you don't want to be anywhere near him. Okay.
Yeah. But no, he always has a dig. But James, I concur with him that it's a great show off the rails. It really is. But Joe had to go to everyone. Snaiths could paint a zebra white to race it.
Black or white and race it. And then he had some analogy with Mike Tyson eating meat that he just sort of pulled out the air. That was a new one. And,
it was very funny. You know, his stables that he's suing them for are going to be burnt down probably while he's away. That was very funny. And
he's only got 3 horses worth training. You know? We had a good golf day on Thursday Friday at.
It's not a game, James. We had a good golf day at Mount Edgecombe. Thursday or Friday, James?
Yeah, Friday. It was. Listen, I'm a bit under the weather.
I can hear you're a bit chesty.
Yeah, no, I'm battling, and they like putting on flashes
yawning and coughing
and spluttering and carrying on.
You're like an old lawnmower this morning, but good for you. You're here.
Yeah, one of those old wolf lawnmowers, but I don't feel like a wolf. I feel like a little kitten. Anyway, but you know, suicide mission this morning. We had to put away all the ropes and scissors and everything today because yesterday was not a good day for you.
I had a winner.
Yeah.
One runner, one
I
winner.
don't think it helped. 6-0.
Oh, football. No, you're right. And then,
6-0.
and then my beloved Ireland. Wasn't that a travesty?
Well, I don't know where they were last week against Australians. If they played like that against Australians, they would have beaten them.
Yeah, absolute travesty. I really, really thought it just shows even a jaded All Black side can come back and win. They're a great, great team. Well done to them, but I thought my beloved Ireland had it.
You know, my beloved Springboks gave the little froggies something to think about.
Wonderful. And just control our discipline, it'll be even better side. But
well, you know, when you've got a whole lot of scoffs, what do you expect?
Punching and pushing.
You know, they were brought up. They were brought up donning each other. You got to have a full gun.
Donner. I'll donner you.
The interesting thing was that I love the panels they put together for. You know, they've got. Normally Mallet and I think Nas and Mallet are unbelievable. Yeah. And this year they had Yanni Duplessis this week.
Well,
Yanni
he
Duplessis.
took pidgin English to a new level. The doctor, he talks sense, but he comes out with a real Afrikaans accent.
Yeah, he talks sense until they asked him about the refs.
What
And
did
then
he say?
he lost it. He lost his tongue. The cat took it.
Bling Kumalo.
Bling Kumalo. That's his.
Bling
Yeah,
Kumalo.
they call him Bling now. There was a big article in the Mail and Guardian about Bling Kumalo, and really he's become a household name. And
That's it.
Good for him. I think he's a hell of a rider.
Hell of a rider. You can bling on the rest.
Yeah, and
you know he's very, very good. But James, how about your dash hand in that race?
No,
Was it
my dash
Senor
hand.
Jose,
My
the dash
dash
hand up the inside. Senor Jose in sixth. What are you up to?
He's got the shortest legs you've ever seen. Johnny Giroda's got longer legs.
There we go. A great filly ending her career, ridden by a great rider who seems to be high-fiving a long way out.
Well, good for him.
Good for him.
Andy, lovely to have him back in the saddle and have
Great
him go.
rider.
He's always the greatest fun. Him and Anton Marcus at the track in the morning. You've got to have the two of them. They make going to track fun.
Yeah, but they must be good cop, bad cop. One guy's extremely bubbly, and the other guy is, I don't know, he's always looking for something to beat him.
Who, Anton?
Yeah.
No, but Anton's a studier, so he's I would call him.
He's more of a pessimist than another guy.
I call him an Einstein. He's sort of he's
Einstein.
Yeah, he's always.
That means one beer in German.
Well, that's right, Einstein.
So you call him one beer.
He's a one beer boy.
9 fingers and 1 beer. That's his name. But he's a great rider. Nice to. I saw him at the track, James. He's going to be back soon. Eh?
Yeah, in fine form. Fine form.
form.
He said that he's chubbier than Andrew Fortune, which is hard. I don't think it's impossible.
But the wit of Andrew Fortune?
Yeah, the wit of Andrew Fortune and Anton Marcus is a combination that we could do.
Yeah,
with,
they're both sharp brains.
Sharp.
I think you guys should change the name to a good laugh. Winning Way seems to be doing it.
Now you've got a whole lot of uncles and aunts. There are a lot of uncles, aren't there?
Yeah, my grand and grandfather didn't have a TV, so.
You've got a TV, but you seem to be going along the right way.
No, I had to get another one in the bedroom. That seems to be doing the trick, it's holding me at bay.
I mean, I was actually born right across the road from the main gate here. That was Mother's Hospital. And like I've always said to everybody, my ashes are going from the 100-meter mark to the finishing post at Greyville.
Well, there's a lot of ashes, you know.
Yeah, I know, have a look. Could be a bucket load. You know, all of us guys from Greyville here, we all used to come to the racecourse, Brian Maxwell, Bert Leclos. You know Bert Leclos? Yeah, the world famous whaler.
Yeah.
You know, every time you see him on TV, he's whaling.
Yeah, he was fantastic. His son was fantastic at
Yes.
the World Swimming Games.
And then you get characters like Franco the Barber,
Franco the Barber, yeah.
Yeah, Brian Malone.
What did he do? He was a barber, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
What about Harold Robertson? He was a barber as well. They called him the barber, Harold Robertson.
Yeah, I didn't know much about Harold. I knew he had a few horses, but I don't know much about him.
No.
But
you were in a different echelon, different playing field.
Yeah, different. Well, we were in the lower echelon. They were the higher echelon, you know. But you know, the tables have turned.
You said you were down in Johannesburg. Now, is it down or is it up?
Pedantic about whether you're
Is
up
it
in
down or
Johannesburg
is
or
it
down
up,
in
Graham?
Johannesburg.
I need to know because you know,
okay, I was
when
up in Johannesburg
no one
for the
cleared
Guineas.
it up with me. Someone else said it
but
is
did
down.
they clear it down with you?
Yeah. I can tell you, down I think it is because you're going
Listen,
down.
in a moment I'm going to think you've turned 90 and not your dad.
I'm glad I worked out whether it's down or up. But from you, a scholar and a gentleman, down
Fantastic
is down,
day for the
down
family.
is
Your
down.
father's 90th birthday today.
Yeah, it was
absolutely
amazing,
fantastic.
absolutely amazing. But go back
I'm just giving an indication to the industry that James might live till 90, so if you think you've had to put up with him for now, you've got another 30 years to go.
No, only the good die young. I'll be gone, don't worry.
Did you ever meet Goodman's father and brother?
Oh, yes. Well, they were
Ellen and
colourful
Derek?
people, weren't they? The Goodman twins, everybody, I mean, they roll off the tongue like a
the Goodman twins.
The
that was
Goodman twins, yes.
And they're going strong, and they.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen them lately, but I do know,
I met them
about them.
in the last 6 months. A wonderful time. They really, really remind me of Michael Caine. You
Oh,
know,
do they?
They
Yes,
do. They
well,
live with
look at
cigars
that. The
and
cigar, yes,
and they-
absolutely, and the hat and everything that goes with it. Well,
Yeah.
James is not too far behind.
No,
I
he's
want to
also
tell you.
a cigar man.
Yes. He
Also-
lights it in the morning and hope it's still burning brightly in the evening.
Well, I remember in the Dubai trip that Phil Georgia put on, in that boat on the last day, your speech, and then the people just warmed you, and you made that fantastic speech. From Michael de Kock to all his clients, everybody. It was absolutely wonderful.
Well, I think the champagne he'd given us helped, but the moment did overtake me, and I really did enjoy that. But champagne he gave me, which was
a generous
wonderful.
man, Michael de Kock.
Oh, very, and he'd done so well. But the best thing of all was after the races, after we all had the party started, and Marcus Euster and the whole board of Steinhoff were there, had their big AGM board meeting the next day, and we were waiting for the last
Were you
bus to go.
champagning with them?
Oh, yes, absolutely. But the best thing, we have our 13th race here at Greyville, which everybody waits to see. I mean, it's become absolutely notorious now. But you talk about after the Derby, it's still bright sunlight.
That's right.
And the gypsies all get going there. Then they start fighting and had too much to drink and running around after somebody's losing ticket or whatever. They were fighting on the common. But I do have to say it's the people that are involved in racing that really makes it so attractive. Not only just my group of Ben and George and Chris and all of those, and Mike Rattler that we are in Nick Labuschagne that we race with regularly, but the other people, you know, from all walks of life, right from the very
all
bottom.
know you.
Oh, and when I was driving down this morning and passed through the toll, you know, wanted to pay the money, there was this Indian gentleman in the booth, and he said, "Hey, Lani, what's good today?" I mean, you know, it's wonderful.
Well, you're a
you know.
household name in racing.